that 2012 class. Yeah, that class was we were different in a lot of different ways. A lot of people like to say that we saved the program. I don't really look at it that way. I just feel like we were fulfilling, the purpose that we had set out, to do when we committed to Joe Paterno. Regardless of all the, the negative comments or negative feedback that he may have gotten or still getting. One thing I can say about that man is that he cared outside of football. I think that every letterman that got a chance to play under Joe or met Joe, whatever the case may have been, they're all pretty successful for one reason. It's because of him. Like, he cared about the person that didn't have the shoulder pads and helmet on, which, everything that he teaches, I try to do the same thing with my boys. There's prime example with my current kids. But yeah, 2012, man, Bill O'Brien came in with that January right from the Patriots, and everything that transpired from spring ball to training camp where the news had broke, which was unexpected. We lost a ton of key pieces with Silas Red, Kyrie Ford. I'm probably missing a ton of other people, but we lost Justin Brown. Mm-hmm. We lost some pieces, but I think the one thing that kept everything together that goes unnoticed is, Bill O'Brien and himself. I think if it was any other coach that may have taken on that responsibility, unexpected responsibility, I'm not sure if Penn State has a program. Or maybe we have a program, but it's not, where we top 10 like we are now, top 15 each year. It was the respect and the love that we have gained for BOB in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Right? That's why we stayed. We stayed, as I mentioned, to fulfill the promise we had to Joe. We're going to be here all 3 or 4 years, however long it was. But the way Bill, made us feel from like big brother, uncle, father, type of perspective, however you looked at him, it was good. Nothing against Joe, but being under Joe for 3 years, we go against these teams like Ohio State, and the Michigan States who were good at that time. We got a chance to go against Florida, LSU, and Alabama during that time span as well. They just always seemed like from a football IQ perspective, they were 10 times, just higher and just better than us. Just they schemes and schematics, everything. So when BOB came in and we started learning like football, I felt like we were learning football all over again. It was completely different. It was refreshing. I felt like I learned so much in a short period of time. I learned more under BOB that spring than I learned under, unfortunately, Joe, Tom Bradley, so they called Scrap, during my 3 years with him. So he was a huge reason why, it was so easy to make that decision, not to abandon the program. So easy for us to stay and, fight and, do whatever we need to do to win games, but, put ourselves in positions to, win a Big Ten championship that we wanted, although that was taken away from us.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Billy O.
Shout out to Toby.
He don't get enough credit, dude. He don't get enough credit, I think, probably now because, I don't know, his antics.
Caught a lot of slack this past 2 weeks.
Yeah. But one thing about Bill, he's going to keep it real with you. I think that may be the disconnect now with, just generation and our generation.
Keep it that real now.
Yeah.
You just can't keep it that real. And, the way he spoke to us, and he'll tell you, Steph, you ain't going first round, you ain't going second round, and you 5'8", 5'9", buck change. You made it, everyone can't take that now. And I think we just had a previous story where, Alabama's quarterback was told to change positions, and I mean, it's working out for him. But as you mentioned, coaches these days just gotta walk on eggshells.
Yeah,
I know. I say this all the time. I don't think Nick Saban could have done the job Bill did with that team. And then also, I said this to Monty. B and I have said this multiple times. Like, you guys set the standard for this 13 class, right? Like, I think we had the right group of kids that resonated from just the way we were brought up, the way we thought, the way we approached it. And, at least for me, I'm forever grateful for guys like you and Mods and McGloin, and how you, again, you didn't even talk about it that much. You said it once, and then all of your actions throughout that entire season, the start was kind of shitty, and the way you guys finished. And we all, I think, were up at that Wisconsin game when you guys finished it. And like, it was just the best standard that could have been set from like you said, big brother, like from a big brother standpoint. We're like, man, like we got to fucking keep this thing going, dude. Like that was our thought process. So,
Bro,
I loved it, man.
We had a lot of alphas on that team. And I know people look at the main guys like the Mardis, the Zordich of the world, but shit, man, Gerald Hodges, Jordan Hill.
We got a good GM.
We had a lot. But we had a lot of alphas on that team where I felt like we'd have been good regardless of who was leading that ship. We had a lot of alphas.
That's what we talked about it last week with Mike Gesicki.